Well, good Sunday morning. It is right at 8:30. Time for a short Sunday school class here. This is Reverend Phil Anderson, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church and Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church here in the capital city of Topeka, Kansas. So very glad to have you with me this morning here as we're getting ready for what I hope is a really special Sunday, a wonderful service here at Oakland coming up here in about 1 hour. And also we have another service at 11 o'clock. If you can't make that one, over at Kansas Avenue. So again, Oakland United Methodist Church is located at the corner of Northeast Sardu and Chester here in Oakland. We are 2 blocks to the east of the Oakland Community Center, about a block to the west of the Quick Shop, about 2 blocks west of the Dollar General. So you can come here, go to church, you can go by Quick Shop and get a snack on the way back, and go to Dollar General and get your items that you need there. So, we're right on the way. And then if you miss that one, at 11 o'clock, we are over in Noto at the Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church. Of course, that's at 1029 North Kansas Avenue. And we're just up the street from Noto. Actually, I'm told we're actually now in officially the North Topeka Arts District, or Noto. And we're hoping to find some ways to plug in the churches with their neighborhoods as we go forward here in the spring, or the late spring, early summer. It feels like summer. I guess we're technically still in spring for a couple weeks. Good morning, Karen. I see you're here. Welcome. And I wanted to tell you that I'll be with you, God willing, next Sunday, the 13th. I'll be gone the 20th and the 27th. I'll have a little time off on those 2 days. So I'm hoping that we'll figure out what we're going to do from there. As July 1st rolls around, we may be doing more in-person Sunday school. So we may not be doing the online actual Sunday school. These aren't really Sunday school lessons per se. They're more of us just visiting. So hopefully I can keep doing these, but there will be a little less of an emphasis on the Sunday school. It'll be more of just a quick, hey, how you doing? And hope you can come to church, and here's what's going on, and maybe a little sneak peek. And we might get into what the Lord's been doing in my life. Hopefully you can chime in as well. But anyway, some changes may be coming. We're also looking at a little different ways of doing our Fresh Bread broadcast. We've been doing those for 15 months now, and I really didn't realize how much work that was for Tom Lynn until yesterday morning. My wife Gloria and I were over at the church, and man, there's a lot of work there. So I'm trying to lighten the load. And of course, that was done when we were shut down, with COVID. My wife said, Gloria told me on the way back that, well, we when that started, there wasn't a church meeting in person. And that was our way to stay connected. And it's still a good way to stay connected. But I think that maybe it's run its course to some degree, maybe not entirely. But maybe there's other ways to do it. I'm thinking maybe I can do it on Facebook Live. The only problem is I got to do it every day that way. So maybe we'll do one a week. We're not sure what we're going to do yet, and we still want to keep doing our online thing. So you can see we're growing, we're moving, and that's a good thing. It's just where are we going, and we don't necessarily know. But that's kind of what happened with Abraham when God told him to go. He just went. So anyway, I hope you're doing well, and we'll keep you posted. But again, I should be with you next Sunday. Then after that, I'm not sure. Hi, Polly. Welcome. So we'll just take it as it goes. It may be a little bit different. Like I said, hopefully we can still do something. I like to touch bases with people on Sunday before church and let them know what we're doing. And there may be more Facebook Live like what you're doing, what you're watching here, as opposed to putting things on our website. So that's going to hopefully lighten the load for some people. And it'll also get this out maybe in a way that is just a little easier for people to get to. So just keep posted with that. We'll keep you up to date on it. Well, today the sermon is going to be based on 2 Corinthians 4:13 to 5:1, and really a great little section of scripture. There's only about 6 verses, but I titled the sermon. I'm calling the sermon "Seeing the Unseen." And so I think that's what I'll talk about with you this morning, is we'll just kind of take a little sneak peek of that for the next couple minutes. And, we're called to be different, I think, as Christians. I would hope that no matter our age, whether we're young or old, somewhere in between, that our lives would be different from the lives of those around us. And I believe that the mark of Christ in our life would be that determining factor, that we're going to just respond in love, and yet sometimes there are challenges that we must deal with and that we must face. But nonetheless, if our response is love, then I think we're going to show the world who Christ is. And it really is an opportunity almost every day that we can, again, be that presence of Christ in our world. And that's really what it boils down to. We are given a choice on how we respond, how we act. And I believe Jesus lays the groundwork for that in the Gospels very clearly. And, if you really want to look at them, you can go back to the Beatitudes in the first part of the Sermon on the Mount. And if we look back at those, and I'm going to pull out the message this morning because I wasn't planning on doing that, but it just kind of dawned on me. If we are really serious about being like Christ, then I think these are kind of our guideposts to get us to that point. So here's what it says in the message. I like the message. I've never, as far as I know, I don't think I've read the Beatitudes in the message until right now. So I'm just trusting the message is going to have some really cool things here. But so Jesus saw his ministry drawing huge crowds. Matthew 5. He climbed a hillside. Those who were apprenticed to him, the committed, climbed with him. I like that, how they describe the disciples as the apprentices, those who are committed to him. And arriving at a quiet place, he sat down and taught his climbing companions. This is what he said. You're blessed when you're at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God and his rule. You ever think that you're being blessed when you're at the end of your rope? That's usually not the time that I really feel like I'm blessed. But Jesus says you're blessed when you've had it, because then there's less of you and there's more of God. Let God come in at those moments. Quit trying to handle it on your own. You're blessed when you feel you've lost what is most dear to you. Only then can you be embraced by the one who is most dear to you. You're blessed when you're content with just who you are, no more and no less. That's the moment you find yourselves proud owners of everything that can't be bought. You're blessed when you've worked up a good appetite for God, He's food and drink in the best meal you'll ever eat. You're blessed when you care. At the moment of being careful or full of care, you find yourselves cared for. You're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and heart put right. Then you can see God in the outside world. I might use that one in the sermon. I kind of like that one. You're blessed when you can show people how to cooperate instead of compete or fight. That's when you discover who you really are and your place in God's family. You're blessed when your commitment to God provokes persecution. The persecution drives you even deeper into God's kingdom. Not only that, count yourselves blessed every time people put you down or throw you out or speak lies about you to discredit me. What it means is that the truth is too close for comfort, and they are uncomfortable. You can be glad when that happens. Give a cheer even, for though they don't like it, I do, and all heaven applauds. And know that you are in good company. My prophets and witnesses have always gotten into this kind of trouble. Well, I think that's about as beautiful of a description as I've seen on this idea of the Beatitudes in our current language, because that's where the rubber meets the road. And I think that's where our faith comes in. If our faith is only for Sunday mornings from, 9:30 to 10:30 or 11 to noon, then there's something missing. And we take what we've gotten here out of our church service and we move out into the world. That's not to minimize the church service at all. I think it's critical. And I still believe the pendulum's going to swing back at some point where we're going to see people coming back to church. It may take persecution and hard times for that to happen, honestly. I don't know what it's going to take, but I just know there's typically a bit of a pendulum in life. It usually swings one way and it kind of swings back the other. It's when it's just radically swinging out of control that there seems to be an issue. But usually life has its ebbs and flows. It goes back and forth. And, as Christians, we're looking at the unseen. We're viewing the things that cannot be taken from us. The things that God has given to us cannot be taken. And, I love it when somebody says, well, you did this and no one can take that away from you. Well, people can take just about anything away from us if you think about it. You can go outside in the morning, your vehicle's gone, or someone's broken into your garage and stolen your nice new lawnmower, or maybe someone has stolen your reputation. Maybe they've stolen your good name. Maybe they've stolen your integrity. Maybe they've stolen even those types of things that are not so much physical, but they're still important because they're in the Ten Commandments. Don't bear false witness against your neighbor. We were going over our 10 Commandments yesterday in our intergenerational confirmation class. I mean, folks, all of this fits together. We've just got to be in the Word somehow and just let the Word soak into us, because I'm telling you, nothing here is just by accident. It's all been preordained by God. And if we get into the Word and we give ourselves some time for prayer, where we're not just talking to God and giving Him our laundry list of our things we want, where we hand God our wish list, but it's where we just submit ourselves to the Lord totally, emptying ourselves of ourselves. Man, that's hard to do. I tell you, yesterday morning, I tried that, and it was not easy. But I will tell you this, once we do that, God's got room to work in our hearts. And don't be frustrated when you're not there, when you don't get there right away. It's going to take a while. It's a long journey. It's a long road. But one step at a time, we just go by faith. That's what it's all about. I'll tell you, before we stop this morning, yesterday morning, I was really tired, and I had a little touch. Lord, I'm just going to give you this time right now, and I don't want to say anything. I just want to listen to you. And so I don't know if this will be an encouragement to you or not, because I'm going to tell you how much I've failed. But maybe this will be an encouragement. Sometimes each other's failures can be an encouragement to each other not to give up. So first of all, I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to give up on that. But as soon as I was quiet and just said, Lord, I don't want to think, the thoughts just came cascading in and came from every direction. I don't know where they came from, because my sole intent was to not think about anything really, just let the Lord come in. And so I'd start again. I said, okay, Lord, I just want to listen. And all these thoughts would come in. And I did it, I don't know how many times, but I guess the reason I'm sharing that is I'm not going to give up on that, because I believe that's where it's at. And I heard a pastor on the radio a week or so ago. Maybe I shared this. If I did, I apologize for repeating myself. But he was just saying, kind of matter-of-factly, how he had gotten in the habit years ago of just getting down on his knees or just being in that quiet corner of his place. I've told you guys many times how I think it's important that we get a little place. And I really can't say that I have a specific place. I've got a few little places maybe where I could go. But maybe it's just that little chair or that little corner where I can be quiet, put on some soft music or something, and just relax in the Lord. Maybe pick up the Bible and read for a few minutes. Not a deep Bible study. If this is that quiet time with the Lord where I'm listening to Him. And It may be a 1 day a week thing to start with. You know, for me, my best day, I've told you this yesterday, is Saturday, because that's the one day where I don't have a lot of commitments, at least right now. Some Saturdays are very busy with sports and things. Well, right now they're not so busy with sports and things, family commitments. There's things around the house that my wife and I try to do. She's the harder worker of the two, I can tell you that. But nonetheless, I used to get up real early, even on Saturday mornings, like 3:30 or 4, about the time I normally get up. And I would have about 2 hours there just of total solitude and quiet. And I'll tell you what, that was really precious times. I can't say that I was just being totally silent, but it was precious time. Anyway, the reason I'm sharing this with you before we close is find that space, make the time. And if it doesn't come the first time or the second, don't give up. Keep with it, just like I plan to keep with it. And don't get discouraged. God's got a plan and purpose, and He wants to get closer to us. He wants us to be closer to Him. When we do that, He will show us, I believe, His presence in our life. He will reveal Himself to us as we go through difficult situations. We know that God is going through those with us. We don't have to tell God to give us a few minutes while we handle it on our own, but that He will handle it for us, and we just walk with Him. So that's my prayer. It's a great relationship that we are given through faith in Christ. We just receive that relationship. It's a personal relationship. It's a friendship that we have. He's our Father. We're His children. And we bank on that. We rest on that. So hope to see you in church here in a few minutes. Thanks for joining me today. God bless you. And we will we'll be back, God willing, for this time next week. Again, I won't be here on the 20th or 27th. I'm going to have those 2 weeks off. Hope to kind of get recharged, get reoriented, and get myself ready for the start of the July when it rolls around. We got some exciting things we're planning. And so we're just, again, in these 40 days of prayer, keep praying for the churches. Don't forget to pray as we seek God's guidance as we go forward in our ministries at both Kansas Avenue and Oakland United Methodist churches. So until a little bit later today, hopefully I'll see some of you. If not, we'll see you back here on Facebook Live real soon. Till then, God bless you. Have a great day.